What's up, fellow netbook users? Today it's more specifically aimed at fellow 1215n users, because today I'm going to do a little review about the Nvidia 260.99 BIOS. And if I haven't been talking to you guys online or answering any of your questions, it's because of those BIOS. I've been testing them and stuff and trying to get rid of them. Yes, it doesn't really work that well with it. Let me just give you some more specifics about it. The BIOS that you come with originally on the Asus 1215n is the 257.1 Nvidia BIOS. And on the latest 260.xx Nvidia BIOS are the 260.99. And supposedly they help with a lot of games, and they supposedly worked on it. So many of you asked me to try it. And I did try it, and unfortunately there were some problems, but there is a silver lining in that. Let me just tell you about the problems first. The problems was that I installed it, it went fine, and then I tried several games on it, and one of the first ones I tried was Crisis. And unfortunately, this may be because it was a demo, but unfortunately it went to the menu. When I started the game, it crashed, and I'm not sure if it's just because it's a demo, or I'm not sure about that, but it unfortunately crashed, and it actually had artifacts during the menu. If you're not sure what artifacts are, they're like these huge little crystalline blocks that appear in it. And the next one I tested was I think Resident Evil 5, and I fared a little bit better with that. It actually, and I'll just move on and tell all the bad stuff first. And then I tried StarCraft 2. That one also had artifacts, and when I started up a game, it crashed, unfortunately. And then what else did I try? I tried Fear 2, and that one also had, I believe, some artifacts. Although it did have some artifacts before when you put on the lighting, but yeah, when you turn that off, it didn't have any artifacts at all. But with this new one, it had artifacts. And so, what else did I test? And I tested Call of Duty 4. Anyways, from my tests, besides the artifacts, the good thing was that it showed some improvement in the games. Like in StarCraft 2, it showed actually an improvement of 5 to 6 frames per second. And I tried it with the Resident Evil 5, that showed improvements of 2 to 3 frames per second. So this proves that BIOS can change the performance of the Asus 1215n. But unfortunately, in StarCraft, it improved, but then it crashed. So I would wait for an official release by Asus or Nvidia that's specifically for the 1215n. And I've heard some other people have been able to use this, like 1201pn users, but I'm not sure. There weren't really much information about it, whether or not they got the same thing of artifacts or something. But overall, some people they've seen some improvements with the 260.99, but they haven't extensively tested it with games, and so they didn't really show whether or not it had artifacts or problems in it. Some, they ran the Street Fighter 4 benchmark demos, and they got from 25 to I think 20 to 25 before the BIOS, and then after it was around 30 to 35, and that's a significant improvement. So it shows that the BIOS the drivers can help. We just have to wait for the right ones. And oh snap, that's a phone. And I'll see you guys next time, and I'll keep on bringing more of these reviews, and bye-bye. Also, another thing I forgot to tell you, that when you're doing these things with the BIOS, the drivers, and they're not specifically made for it, like this one, if you go to the Nvidia site, and it won't tell you like if you click drivers for my search for drivers for my system, and then it checks yours, it'll tell you that your drivers are fine. You don't need to update. And so when you do these things, I specifically set like a system restore and everything just before I did this, and oh man, I had some problems going back, and I finally got it back to where everything was normal. So just so to warn you, when you mess with these drivers, it could cause some problems. Like when I turned on my computer after I did the system go back, and then I think it like froze up or something, and then I had to turn it off and then turn it on, and then my Nvidia panel was missing, and I checked on my Nvidia Corporation's thing, and there's nothing in it, and that was kind of scary. And I had to do another system go back, and then it took a long time, and finally everything was there, and then I had to update some things that were unupdated after the go back, and then so that was kind of scary for me. So and these things, they can cause some problems for you. So unless you like back it up and set all the system restore points and everything, don't mess with your with your drivers until you absolutely sure that you got everything locked out. So just a warning for you who want to check out different BIOS. And yeah, pretty much that's it. And I'll see you guys next time in possibly another gaming video with my old two 57.441 drivers. Anyways, see you guys later.